1983 £1 coin from the UK might look like just another piece of currency, but did you know it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of pounds? If you've got one of these coins lying around, there's a chance it could be a hidden gem just waiting to be discovered. This isn't just any regular coin, it has some rare versions that are extremely valuable to collectors. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot these valuable coins, and how much they could be worth. In 1983, the UK introduced the £1 coin to replace the paper £1 note. It was a huge change for the country, as people were used to the paper notes. The coin was designed with the royal arms of the UK, which shows the lion, unicorn, and harp, all surrounded by a shield. At first glance, it looks like a simple coin, but there's more to it than meets the eye. The 1983 £1 coin was struck with some subtle design changes, making certain versions incredibly rare and highly desirable. The Royal Mint made a few mistakes during the minting process, and those errors are what make some of these coins so valuable today. When you look at the 1983 £1 coin, you might notice that there are different edge designs and minting errors that set certain coins apart. Most of the coins were struck with the usual milled edge, but there were a few rare versions that had smooth edges or incorrect inscriptions. These errors were a mistake, but in the world of coin collecting, mistakes can make a coin worth much more. Coins with minting errors or different edge variations are especially sought after. The rarer the coin, the more valuable it becomes. One of the most famous and rare versions of the 1983 £1 coin has an incorrect edge inscription. This was a minting error, and there were only a small number of these coins made. If you happen to have one of these error coins, it could be worth anywhere from £200 to £3,000, depending on its condition. Yes, that's right, up to £3,000 for just one coin. But that's not all. There are other versions of the coin with smooth edges instead of the normal milled edge. These coins are another version that collectors are willing to pay big money for, sometimes as much as £1,000 or more. It's important to remember that condition matters. Like all coins, the better the condition, the more it's worth. If your 1983 £1 coin is still in mint condition with no scratches or signs of wear, it will be much more valuable than one that's worn out. A well-preserved coin can easily be worth hundreds or even thousands of pounds, especially if it has a rare minting error or a unique edge. Coin collectors are constantly on the lookout for rare coins, and that includes the 1983 £1 coin. When a coin becomes rare, the demand for it goes up, and that drives its price higher. The value of these coins has risen in recent years as more people realize how valuable they can be. So, if you've been collecting coins or just have some lying around, it's worth checking them to see if you have one of the rare versions. If you're wondering how to identify a valuable 1983 £1 coin, there are a few things you need to look for. First, check the edge of the coin. If it has a smooth edge instead of the usual milled edge, that's a good sign. Next, check for minting errors. Some coins were struck off-center or have missing inscriptions, which makes them highly collectible. Finally, the condition of the coin is crucial. Coins that are in perfect or near-perfect condition can fetch much higher prices than those that are worn out or scratched. If you think you found a rare 1983 £1 coin, you're probably wondering how much it's worth. Well, it all depends on the version of the coin, its condition, and the rarity of any errors it might have. A regular 1983 £1 coin in good condition might only be worth its face value of £1. However, if it has a smooth edge or minting error, it could be worth much more. A rare version could be worth anywhere from £200 to £3,000, with the highest prices paid for coins in perfect condition with rare errors. In some cases, a top-quality coin might even sell for as much as £5,000 or more at auction. Yes, you could be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. So, how can you sell your rare 1983 £1 coin if you found one? There are a few options. The easiest way is to take it to a coin dealer. Trusted coin dealers will know exactly how much your coin is worth and can offer you a fair price. If you think your coin is worth a lot of money, you might want to consider selling it at an auction. Big auction houses like Sotheby's or Bonham specialize in rare coins and could help you get the best possible price. Finally, you can also sell your coin on online platforms like eBay, but make sure to get it properly authenticated and graded before listing it for sale. If you've got a collection of coins or just happen to have a 1983 £1 coin in your pocket change, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. Even if you don't have a rare version, the 1983 £1 coin is a fascinating piece of history. If you're lucky enough to find a rare version with an error or a smooth edge, you could be holding on to a coin worth thousands of pounds. Coin collecting is a fun and exciting hobby, and you never know what treasures you might have hidden in your collection. The 1978 2 new pence coin might look like just another piece of old British currency, but it could be hiding a small fortune. If you've got one of these coins in your collection or in your change jar, there's a chance it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of pounds. Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's true. In this video, we'll break down exactly why this coin could be worth so much, what makes it special, and how to spot a rare version that might just be sitting in your pocket right now. The 2 new pence coin was part of the UK's decimal currency system, which was introduced in 1971. Before that, the UK used pounds, shillings, and pence, but the government decided to make things easier by dividing the pound into 100 pence. The 2 new pence coin was one of the new coins introduced in this system, and it has a simple but memorable design. On one side, it shows the number 2 surrounded by a wreath of roses, and the reverse side features 2 sprigs of the royal rose. The 1978 version of the coin was struck in bronze and became a regular part of the UK's currency until the coin was replaced by the 2 pence coin in later years. At first glance, the 1978 2 new pence coin might not seem special. After all, many were produced and circulated, so it's easy to assume they're worth no more than their face value, which was just 2 pence. However, some of these coins were struck with minting errors or design variations that make them incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. These mistakes, though unintentional, can turn an ordinary coin into a valuable collectible. In fact, certain 1978 2 new pence coins are now worth much more than anyone could have imagined back when they were first made. One of the main reasons the 1978 2 new pence coin is worth so much is because of minting errors that happened during production. A minting error occurs when the coin isn't produced correctly, and it can include things like misprints, off-center strikes, or double strikes. A misprint might happen if part of the design is missing or incorrectly stamped, while an off-center strike occurs when the design is not aligned properly on the coin. A double strike happens when the coin is struck more than once, causing the design to appear twice on the same coin. These types of errors make the coin rare, and rare coins are highly valued in the world of collectors. The most valuable 1978 2 new pence coins are those that have major minting errors. For example, a coin that was struck off-center might have a design that is shifted to one side. This means the usual clean look of the coin is disrupted, and the off-center strike creates a unique appearance that collectors love. If you happen to find a 1978 2 new pence coin with this type of error, it could be worth anywhere from £500 to £2,000 depending on the severity of the error and the coin's condition. The rarer and more dramatic the mistake, the more valuable the coin becomes. Another type of error that makes some 1978 2 new pence coins more valuable is the misaligned design. This happens when the engravings or patterns on the coin don't match up perfectly, leaving one side of the coin slightly shifted or incomplete. Coins like this can be worth more than regular ones because they're harder to find, and collectors are always on the lookout for unusual designs. If your coin has a misaligned design or shows a noticeable mistake, it might be worth anywhere from £100 to £500, depending on how rare the error is. Then there's the perfectly mint condition 1978 2 new pence coin. While most of these coins have been used and are worn down over time, a coin that has been carefully preserved or kept in pristine condition could be worth a lot more. If the coin is free from scratches, wear, or discoloration, collectors will pay a premium for it. These coins in mint condition could fetch anywhere from £50 to £300, and if you're lucky, it might be worth even more if it has a rare minting error on top of its excellent condition. Collectors also look for proof coins, which are specially minted coins made for collectors rather than circulation. These proof coins have a much higher level of detail, and they're often more polished and shiny than regular coins. Proof versions of the 1978 2 new Pence coin were produced in limited quantities, so they're rarer than the regular circulation coins. If you happen to own one of these proof coins, it could be worth £200 to £3,000 depending on the condition and the rarity of the coin. Proof coins are often bought and sold at auctions, and their value can skyrocket if there's strong demand from collectors. Now, let's talk about how to spot a rare 1978 2 new Pence coin. First, take a good look at the edge of the coin. If the coin has been struck off-center or has any kind of misalignment, it's a good sign that it could be valuable. Next, carefully check for any misprints or errors in the design. Sometimes the number 2 might be misprinted or part of the pattern could be missing. These are the signs that could point to a coin being rare. The best thing to do is to inspect the coin closely and compare it with a normal version of the 1978 2 new Pence coin to see if there's anything different. If you find that your coin has a minting error or is in perfect condition, you might want to have it graded by a professional coin grader. This will help determine the exact value of your coin, especially if it has a rare error or is a proof coin. The grade of the coin, which indicates its level of wear and condition, plays a big role in how much it's worth. A coin in excellent condition will fetch a much higher price than one that's been heavily worn or damaged. Once you've determined that your 1978 2 new Pence coin is valuable, you'll want to know where to sell it. The best place to sell rare coins is through a coin dealer or a coin auction. Professional coin dealers can help you assess the value of your coin and give you a fair price based on its rarity and condition. If you think your coin could be worth a lot of money, you may want to consider selling it at an auction, where collectors can bid on it and drive the price up. Websites like eBay are also good places to sell coins, but it's important to have the coin properly authenticated and graded before listing it. In conclusion, the 1978 2 new Pence coin might seem like just another piece of old currency, but in reality, it could be a valuable collectible. Whether it's due to a minting error, a misaligned design, or being in mint condition, this coin could be worth hundreds or even thousands of pounds. If you have one of these coins, it's worth taking a closer look to see if it's a rare version. If it is, you could be sitting on a hidden treasure that might just make you rich. Make sure to check for any errors or misprints, and if you're unsure, have it graded by a professional. Good luck, and happy collecting!